That's not bad. The old, yeah, it's good. It's good, Brian. I totally got Steve with this string in the squirt bottle.
You did.
He really laughed.
Did I?
No. I thought it was funny.
No, remember? I wasn't really concerned about it. I was like, if it was like dye or something in there, I was holding this top.
Yeah.
So it would have had to been a pink guitar.
Okay, okie dokie.
Sorry, I'm in your spot right now.
So I think, is it time? Yeah. Hey, everybody, this is Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars, and we are kind of coming into the final stretch of the inaugural ultimate PRS style build workshop. And I'm fortunate to have, to my left, your right, Steve from Maximum Guitar Works. And it's a good thing because I want to talk to you real quick, Steve, about the video on Sunday. And Dylan is here, and he says he's stoked about this video. He has no idea what is coming after the video on Sunday, which is would someone grab my Douglas fir SG real quick? So
Douglas fir now?
It's always been Douglas fir, but yeah, pine is easier to say. Thank you, Brian. So this Sunday, everybody, the video is we take this guitar into Steve's to have it plecked. Now the video has already been made. The guitar has already been plecked. And in the video, I said, this is such an absurd thing. I think the next best absurd thing to do is send it to Dylan to have like swanky pickups put in it. So anyway, Steve, how is the pleck thing going? Are you still like people can bring their guitar in and pleck it and they send it to you or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, it's a growing business. I think part of the thing for especially the local community is just getting the word out.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So that's the most important thing. But I can tell you over and over again stories of people who have maybe had plex services done.
Yeah.
And then are just like, man, there's one local. That's awesome.
It's cool.
And then other people that maybe never have and kind of took a shot and say, oh, let me try it out. And then they come back to our, break room, guitar room area, and they play it and they're like, man, this feels so good.
Well, I think that when people see the video on Sunday and see that you're offering 25% off if you use the code
$25.
Sorry, 10% off, $25. Yeah, I did. Steve's like, I never agreed to that nonsense. Well, they get a discount and they can send you their guitar and you can have it plecked at Maximum Guitar Works where where all the cool stuff happens.
The machine does all the smart stuff, right? It does all the analytics, but it's still the operator that has to make choices. Yeah. Right. And so the biggest thing I can tell you, there's probably other places around the country that have it. There's about 30 of these machines across the country. But we do care, and we'll spend the extra time it takes to make sure we get it right.
Okay. All right. But this video is all about here. Let's trade. This video is all about the PRS workshop that we just did.
Yeah.
And well, here, let's take a look at this one because you've already seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so what do you now, Steve? You just walked in the door. Now
they're all amazing.
And what do you think? Because you and I and Matt from the UK worked very hard to get this to be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And really, when I say we worked, all I did was go, hey, do this.
Yeah.
And figure out a way to do it. Don't you think that would be cool? And you said, okay. And you really, I got to hand it to you. You didn't really flinch when I said, hey, Steve, let's get a bunch of people to build Paul Reed Smiths.
Well, I've gotten used to the fact that most of your ideas start that way.
Yeah.
And in the end, they seem to work.
I think these really turned out great. And I can't wait to
your
show
ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the workshop turned out great too. Paul Hall sent us 5 pounds. How much is that, Matt?
5 pounds is about $6.50.
Ooh. He says, thanks for wearing the t-shirt last night. Good to see Maximum Steve. God bless you, Paul. Thank you so much, my friend. Zed has a question for you, Steve. He says, hey, Steve, when are you going to be taking orders for custom templates? Putting you on the spot a little bit.
Okay. Well, we'll give a quick answer to that.
Okay.
Is the best shot at that will be after next March.
Okay.
Remember why?
Yeah.
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 So I officially retire at the end of March 25 from my
Mhm.
military job, which takes 40 to 50 hours a week of my time, and then and Maximum Guitar Works takes another 40
for another 80 or yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You know, and it's just it was absolute insanity. If we can get that under control and we can get some of our OEM customers that are waiting in the pipeline to me get all the programming and vetting and stuff done, then I can begin to tackle some custom template stuff again. But probably not before that point. For sure.
Hold on, let me pause you right there. Hey, Brian, can you guys maybe move away out of the direction of the microphone? So so anyway, so there you go, Zed. Steve is going to have a little more time on his hands coming up, but not until March, right? So
I would almost guarantee you, anytime before time ain't happening.
Yeah. Doc sent us a super chat and says, "Hey Matt, hey Steve, good to see you. I'd like to know about the double cut junior." Doc, Steve and I are absolutely working on the double cut junior template set, so that's a thing that's going to happen. When it's going to happen, I don't know, but it is in fact going to happen. I think that we could. The real trick on that, Doc, is the neck and where the neck joins the body. I personally believe that we could do it with this neck if you wouldn't mind a 25-inch scale. But that's it. I'm going to talk with Steve about that a little bit tonight and see what he thinks. And Matt from England, is it UK? I don't know, Matt. But
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Matt is here from the United Kingdom, and he is works with Steve.
Yeah, he does all my 3D CAD stuff.
Yeah. So the right guys are here to talk about that stuff, and I'm not going to miss the opportunity.
He just happens to be in town visiting, and so he's in the shop right now, and maybe we can chat with him at some point. But all the projects basically go through me creating two-dimensional.
First, it's my ridiculous idea,
right?
Yeah.
Then it's me creating two-dimensional CAD. Then it's given that along with specs. To UK Matt, as we refer him to here in the US. And then they come back, and then we turn that into whatever it needs to be in the real world.
Oh, okay, yeah. So if he's UK Matt, who's US Matt?
Is that you?
No, I'm probably
you're just Matt.
Silly Matt, or absurd Matt, or dopey Matt.
Yeah.
Old dopey Matt, yeah. Paul Hall says he tried to order the hard copy of the magazine, but there's $100 delivery charge. Paul, I tell you what, we'll have to have Joy answer that because shipping to the UK is expensive. We might just save you a copy when you get here to save on the delivery charge. But you know what we're here to talk about, Paul? We'll get back to you, Paul. Joyce just ran out of the shop. She'll be back, and when Joy gets back, we'll talk to her. But we're here to talk about the PRS inaugural PRS workshop,
right?
And we're going to get everybody who participated to come up and chat. Those of them that want to. So I don't know. And there's some kind of hustle and bustle happening. But are you ready to see what some of these guys came up with, Steve?
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's on the wall here.
How is Matt? Is he excited to see some of his creations come to fruition?
He is.
All right. Good deal. Okay. Yeah. So. Well, okay. While there's still a little bit of backing and forth, and is there? Tell me give me the elevator pitch on what it took to get this to where it is now, if you don't mind.
From the production standpoint, well, obviously any new design takes the 2D to the 3D. Okay, I get the 3D back from UK Matt, and then I've got to develop fixture plates, and we build all of our own vacuum fixture bakes plates in-house, out of tooling aluminum, right? Okay. And we machine it all in-house, and then we can do prototyping. And so this was was this number one?
That was the very first one that was actually destined for the trash sheet.
Yeah, because I just used scrap wood that was all laminated together as a test, right? And then once you test one out on the CNC, there's generally 2, 3, 4, sometimes more iterations of tweaks that I have to make for either accuracy, for fit, for less blowout, and things like that.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, tool pads, and things. Okay.
Yeah, and so we have to go through that process. And I would say any any guitar, once I get the 3D CADs, takes 3 to 5 days to work through all those processes and say, okay, now I feel confident that we could put this in production and make X number.
And then let's trade here. And then what do you do when you get everything is sorted out exactly right?
Well, we have different versions of it typically anyway. Like this is the trem version. We have a hardtail version. There's probably in the future be other variations of this that we're gonna talk to Matt about getting done, like the toggle switch version and things like that. So this one is just right off the machine.
Yeah. So you brought this in for me, and it's right off the rig and ready to go.
Still have the alignment pins in it, so that you can use one of our template systems to do the pickup cavities.
And when we talk to everybody who was in the workshop this week, they'll be able to tell you, we fit the necks, we got the neck angles in there, and everybody got to choose what pickups they wanted, and they were able to. We spot glued the necks in and then put them back on the template and then ran them through the pin router, which is the one true and holy tool to do this with, by the way, because there is no fixture plate.
I would have to develop another fixture plate at that 1.6 degree angle in order to do that. So the pin router seems like, paired with a template is a much more efficient way to get it. It's way
easier to do it one at a time.
Yep. So we could build a fixture if we wanted to mass produce, these and have the angles, perfectly. So we run one thing this way, then we put it on the angle fixture plate. Everything's lined up and it runs again. And we could do it that way. But right now, with making for you, obviously we don't need to.
Okay. So because we have a pin router.
You just take it from there.
So Dastardly Dave, who's right here in the shop, sent us a super chat and says, ad free is for me. We try to keep all of these live videos ad free, because it's a bummer to go back and watch them and have to sit through a bunch of dumb ads for dumb things you don't want to buy. So, well, Steve, while I got you here, before I start bringing people up, I want to show you the guitar that Chris and I built in conjunction with the workshop. And as you can see, it's not quite done. One of the reasons it's not quite done is because it takes a while for us to actually, help everyone in the workshop, and so we don't always get ours finished, but we came pretty close. Oh, the other thing, we didn't have a switch, right? We ran out of the switches. Didn't get our delivery. Yeah. So everybody else is ready to go and done. Pete C sent us a super chat and says, "Dang, this time Brian made me do it." I know, Pete. He's the man, huh? It's what he does. So here's one that's mostly done. What say ye?
It feels great. I mean, it feels good. I love your guys' satin finish. It's growing on me. I wasn't a satin guy, but it's starting to grow on me.
Someone asked me, they said, "Do you spray nitrocellulose? It looks like it." And I'm like, "No, this is our trademarked 73 finish, which I absolutely love." You know what else I love on this guitar is the Hipshot trim. I think it is. And I love the PRS bridge, but I think I like this bridge so much, and we use it on so many guitars. I'm very, very happy that this is the bridge that we
beautiful burst, beautiful figure, all of them.
Now this one is going to Mike Durbin. He actually said, "I want one of those, but I can't make it to the workshop." So there you go, Mike. We this is going to be your guitar.
There you go. It's going to be a beautiful one. He's going to love it.
Oh yeah. Lauren Court says he has a feeling this is going to be the best reveal yet, and I think he might be right. So anyway, why don't we get the people up here who built alongside Chris and myself this week, and we'll so thanks for hanging out with us, Steve.
Seeing you.
Yeah, I'll see you. Yeah, I'll see you back here.
Well, I don't know. If it gets,
don't go anywhere.
If it gets too slow, we might just leave.
Yeah, feed Matt some beer, and he'll stick around. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we've got 5 people who were with us this week, and I don't know where Chris is, but he should be shuttling one of them up to me, or he can come and hang out with them too. Dave is on his way up. Come on, Dave. Come on, Dave. So this is my buddy Dave Chenzoff, who's been out here 7 times. This is your 7th or 8th time, Dave.
4th, 9th, or 10th.
It's all I know is that you've been out here so many times. Your picture is literally on the wall
and on the door.
Yeah, that's right.
My name's on the door.
Yeah, your name's on the door. Yeah. So how are you, man? What do you think? So okay, everyone's guitar is ready to go. They all need a handful of tweaks. So if anybody sees that, like, oh, the bridge needs to be like this, yeah, don't worry, we know that. We got yeah. So we're gonna get to that.
We're looking good though.
Yes. So what say ye, Dave?
That was a long, hard 5 days.
It was a long, hard 5 days, wasn't it?
But everybody's guitar turned out awesome. Everybody's guitar, as much as they're similar, they're very different.
I think that's a cool thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the finish that you did. I love the, did Chris make back plates? We just haven't put them on yet.
Just haven't put them
Okay.
on yet. Yeah.
I love the, everybody's finish turned out terrific. Let me tell you what I love about yours. I love the burst on the top and how it's natural on the back. I think that is really, I like the natural back kind of flavor to it. I think that's
and
really
then the idea was a tobacco burst, but we did it in a burgundy instead of a brown for the outer color.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know
You've got a lot of fans in the comment section. Gary Redburn,
red, yeah.
Doc, and Ben, and Loring, and Pete, and Mike, and yeah. So yeah, that really turned out terrific.
Mm-hmm.
What pickups did you go with, sir?
I went with some Dylan pickups.
But you had them custom made, right?
Yeah, with custom covers that are a crazy acrylic, depending on the lighting. They change colors a little bit, but they're in that burgundy family.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it, man.
Mm-hmm.
What and then you got a custom made truss rod cover.
Right. So
that says DC Comics on it.
Well, it happened to turn into that, but yeah. My initials are DC, so what the heck?
Yeah, I think it's cool, man.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. What do you think of the Black Kingwood? What is it called, Steve? I get it wrong.
Royal Blackwood.
Royal Blackwood.
Royal
Why did I start
Blackwood.
calling it Black Kingwood?
Well, it's close.
Okay. Royal Crown. Okay. I'm gonna forget in the next moment. So what do you think of the black fretboard? I think it's cool.
Oh yeah, it gives it a good look. And then picks up on some of your black hardware elements going on.
Dylan, who made the pickups for you, says so sick. Sean Emenheiser says well done. Yeah, so it's a killer guitar.
Yeah, we even did the reveal binding.
Well, I love the reveal binding
all the way around, and then we did a little something here in the scoop.
So how did you look up like how PRS does it? And there's a handful of ways they do it.
Quite a few ways. So then we just made up a way
based
on what we were seeing.
And I think that everybody did theirs a little different.
Yeah, a little different.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think of the finished product, my man?
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
It's cool. Are you going to leave the Telly style switch tip on there or
it's on there. So
okay, yeah, it's not going anywhere.
it's not going anywhere.
Okay, cool. Super cool. Well, what was one of your favorite things that we did, Dave? And why was it Chris coming over to y'all's Airbnb every night and doing singing?
Yeah, my ears are bleeding from that. Actually, I've not done an arch top yet. So it was, processing, sanding, getting these contours right on this arch top.
So yeah, you started with something not unlike this. And here's what I think. I think that, and I've never worked at Paul Reed Smith, Mark, but I think that if you worked at Paul Reed Smith and sanded bodies, they would hand you something like this. And okay, now remove all the machine marks and make it look ready for paint, right?
Mm-hmm. And then just as well, do you want to sharpen this corner? Do you want to soften this corner?
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on.
And I'm sure there's the PRS way, and you guys get to do it the way you want to do it. So yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
cool.
This turned out wicked.
Now you're going to come back and join us in next month for the amp building workshop.
Right, exactly, for the combo.
Yeah. Now, Federico, if you're watching, I'm still trying to get this the Affirm thing sorted out. I don't know what's going on, but how about this? Joy's working on it, so it'll actually get done.
For sure.
Okay. What else, Dave? How was it? A long time ago, you sent me a message or you called or email or something, and you said, hey, that's my phone, not yours. You said, hey, if anybody is like a little curious or apprehensive or wonders what it's like to come out to these things or where to stay, give them my number. Mm-hmm. And you really put your money where your mouth is, because this time you and Doug and Dan, you guys all got an Airbnb together.
Yeah, for sure.
How was that?
Oh, it was very nice. Yeah. staying in a home instead of staying in a
Yeah,
hotel.
yeah.
There's a huge difference. Yeah, you relax every evening.
Yeah.
For sure.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you saved a little bit of money doing that?
All in all, divided by 3. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you rented a whole house by
we
yourself.
rented a whole
obviously.
house. Yeah, divided by 3. Yeah.
Okay. Cool, man.
Felt nice.
Cool.
And close to the shop, closer than the hotel is that we typically stay at.
Yeah, you guys were like what, 1.5 miles, 2 miles away?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Something like that.
There's a lake in between.
Well,
but
on
yeah.
the train, depending on the train.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
Cool. Well, Dave, I love this. Who should we say hey to back in Ohio?
Well, of course, Green Eyes.
Of course, Green Eyes. Hi, Julie. Thanks for letting us have Dave all week. It's always good. It's always good to have Dave. And Dave you're very methodical. You're a machinist by trade.
Basically.
So but I mean, you
being around a machine shop. Yeah. That kind of stuff.
So
Engineering head. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't know what else to ask. Chris, am I forgetting anything?
No.
Okay. All right. Well,
Very cool.
So you can actually, you know what? Let's take the guitars and you can show them to Steve and UK Matt if that's cool.
Gotcha.
Or
do that.
let's do that because
All
I
right,
think they
cool.
want to see him, and we might call you back up there because people might want to see him again. I don't know. So
All right.
yeah.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Great to have you here, my friend.
Always, yeah. We'll see you next month.
All right, so we got so now Dave came all the way from Ohio, and people come from all over to build these guitars with us. Well, come on now. My friend Dan came all the way from. I'm going to get it wrong now. It's not Toronto, Windsor, Canada.
Yep. Windsor,
Okay,
Ontario.
We were talking about Toronto, and so I have to hand Dan his guitar because it's way back over here. But Dan built, so you built something very similar to what Dave did, and yet something very, very different, right?
Correct.
So what do we got here? Tell us what we got happening here and show.
This way?
Oh yeah. We got to get it in there. Yeah.
Well, first off, it had to be green.
Oh, hey, you know who's watching? Corrigan Pickups.
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's give a good shout out. He's a Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Toronto. That's why we were talking about Toronto.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And fellow Canadian Doc Siltonen says, love the color. Lefty says, pretty damn cool. Gary says, love the green color. Curtis Chavez says, naughty. And Pete says, another amazing guitar. And Sean Joint says, hell yeah. So I'm going to shut up. Which is hard for me to do. Tell us what we got here.
okay, first off, I want to give a shout out to Patrick Corrigan. He's a one-man outfit in Toronto. Makes these great pickups. I called him, told him I was coming to the class and what I was going to do, and asked if they would match. And he wound up the humbucker so it would match the P90. So I really appreciate it. And if anybody wants pickups, it's a good deal for anybody down south here because it's 40% off because of the Canadian dollar. So it's a good deal. Anyways, pickups were from Corrigan.
Now you went with a wraparound bridge instead of you're the only
Correct.
wraparound bridge here
Only
this
wraparound.
week. Yeah.
Just because I like trims.
I think the wraparound's really, really nice. It looks excellent.
We've got nice burst happening over the green.
It's funny, like in the camera, on the
looks
screen,
brown.
it looks brown and yellow. It's not.
But
It's
it is
green.
a
Yeah.
really nice green, and it really makes the grain pop. We did a black fade, black sides, and then fade to natural.
I love the
on the
top.
back.
Hold on, flip it back over so everyone can see. I love the top that you got, and I love the burst that you did, and I love the reveal binding that you did. That looks so
Yeah,
cool.
just a little bit closer. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece of wood. Yeah, and the reveal bindings really stick out with the black burst.
How hard was the reveal binding to do, Dan?
Should I give a secret away or no?
Well, I mean, people are going to want to come to do this, but they might go, man, I don't know if I can do the reveal binding. It might be too hard.
If I can do it. No, it's very easy. A little bit of tape and a little bit of scratch, and you're done.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Chris Hendrick says, I say the pics courtesy of the TTG alumni group. I saw the pics. Really love the green. Yeah. And then what'd you do
It's
on the
the
back?
only
You
true
did
and holy color.
as I recollect, Chris enjoys the green guitars too.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of amber onto
Okay.
the mahogany and a nice black burst neck all the way down to the headstock. So very nice.
There's a
And
lot of people
headstock.
who are good at painting, including Sean Emenheiser, who says so good. Doc wants to know, and I don't know the answer. Did you do the burst or did Chris do the burst? Did you pick the color? Or
I picked the colors.
okay.
That's as far as it went. I
Okay.
picked the colors. Yeah, no.
Zed says nice touch on the headstock. Let's get that in there
Let's
so
get the
everybody can
headstock
see.
in there.
So everybody can see what you came up with, kind of an Antigua. And you got a custom TRC that says Dan's Guitars. That's cool.
Yeah, the same burst basically as on the body.
So
On the
Paul
back.
Hall, all the way in the UK, says these may be PRS shapes, but you can't call them but you can't buy them from PRS. It's absolutely right. These instruments are things that you can't get at PRS, and because you guys made them, of course, some people have asked me, hey, is it kosher to do this? And because it's your guitar, you can make any guitar you want. I can't make this guitar and sell it, but you guys can make anything you want. And nobody made something that you can just get from Paul Reed
No,
Smith.
you can't get them from Paul Reed Smith. So
Yeah.
they're a Paul Reed Smith style.
Yeah.
They're not a Paul Reed Smith guitar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can do anything we want.
We can do anything we want. Yeah, we can customize anything we want to do.
For sure.
So what was your favorite part of this week, Dan?
Airbnb.
Airbnb, baby.
Yeah, that was the best part. No.
So
no,
but no, that was actually you guys had a great time, right? Because you got to hang out with everybody every night, and like I say, Chris came over a lot. We
Chris
went over to
came
Jim
over.
Jam Jimmy's one night.
Candle came over
Yep.
last night
Yep.
for a little bit. Yeah.
If there was a stick in the mud, it was me. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to say.
I know
man,
Joy
but-
wanted to come over, but you didn't let her. So, jeez. Anyways, no, it was great, and it was like I was at La Quinta Inn last year,
Uh-huh.
and this was like $200 and some odd cheaper.
So
And it was a
and it
house.
was a nicer house. Yeah.
And it was a great house.
So
Like,
if anybody wants to come out to one of these, I gotta recommend the Airbnb route. And not that I'm sure you guys all know about Airbnb,
yeah,
but let me know if you want to do it, and I can put you in contact with some of the other people. And
well, it happened on the chat.
oh, okay,
Like I signed up, and then Doug signed up, and Dave,
good old what's his face. Uh-huh.
and I think I mentioned to Doug. I said, "Do you want to get something rather than a motel?"
Yeah.
He says, "Well, Dave handles it." So
Okay,
Dave handled it,
and
Like,
Dave came through.
yeah, like so. Just once you sign up for the class, just mention it in the chat and get together. Like it's ridiculous sitting
Cool.
in a motel room by yourself. Like
Yeah,
this was great. Like we went out for supper every night, a different group, and
Yeah.
and yeah, it was super. That's the only way to go. And,
now you're
and
gonna
you're
come,
saving money.
and that's a no brainer, right?
Yeah, for
So now you're going to come out sometime next year. We don't
Sometime
know
next
when,
year.
but
Yeah,
we'll see you next
for
year
sure,
for
for sure.
what do you want to do?
That'll
You
be
want-
my third.
Cool.
Next year. Yeah.
Outstanding. Which one are you thinking you want to do? If you could do anything, which one are you thinking about doing?
Oh, an icon again.
The icon. Okay, yeah,
For sure,
the
for sure. That's
cool.
the one I tried to sign up for, but I just because of family couldn't quite.
Well,
do it.
yeah, our calendar is not complete for 2025, so we're going to add some more stuff. So don't sweat it, man. We'll get you in there. So,
Well, I
who
trust you.
who should we say hey to?
I want to say hi to my mom and my sister. I want to thank her for looking after her while I was gone. My nephew's probably watching. He's out in Whistler, BC. And,
Sean says he likes your shirt too. You want to let everyone know that Flipside Music, the great
yes, the
American guitar
Great
store, has cool
American
shirts.
Guitar Store. Flipside Music.
So, Jason B, the guitars do look amazing, and your guitar is going to look amazing too. It's actually in the process right now. So, yeah. Okay. Well, so let's get somebody else up here, and
Thanks, guys.
we're actually doing pretty good on time, actually. So, yeah. So, this I can't stress enough how neat these guitars are, and I think that people are going to want to come out and do this. Mark, what do you think?
I think this was awesome.
Did you have a good time, man?
I had a great time.
Tell us about all the other times you've been here.
Well, all the other times I've been here, I haven't been here.
I know this is you're the only guy who this was his first trip out, right?
I'm the newbie. I was the rookie. I got to sand everybody's guitar while they drank beer.
Yeah, they kind of hazed you a little bit. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. People were writing stuff on my guitar.
Your guitar looks so excellent. Let's get it. The camera doesn't really do it justice, but let's see if we can do a little bit of justice here. Tell us what you got going on.
Well, I did sort of a purple fade, sort of a cross between a fade and a burst. And then I went with the natural wood in the back. And
like I was telling Dave, I love the bursts that you guys did, and I love the natural backs that you guys came up with too. But your burst is, well, it's kind of burst from. It's a little different. What was the inspiration for that?
Kind of a horizontal burst.
Yeah.
I looked online to get different ideas, and I saw something similar to this that I really liked, and I've seen fades before like that, so I just thought this would look kind of cool.
You know what we're gonna call this?
I don't.
You won't get the reference, but Jim, wherever you are, this is the Uptown fade right here, Betty. The Uptown fade. Oh, there you are. I'm like Jim's like totally camouflaged. Literally, I couldn't see him. He's 6'2". I can't see him. Yeah, so standing right in front of me.
I think I might understand the Uptown.
The Uptown fade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the reference of Uptown.
If you ever come to my house for a drink, the only drink I know how to make is an Uptown fade. It's different every time, and so yeah.
All right. Well, I'm proud.
Yeah.
Let's
The
go.
Uptown fade.
The Uptown fade.
So,
Sounds good.
tell us a little bit about what you got going on here.
Well, I've got some Planetone humbucker pickups.
I love the white pickups
And
too. They look
I'm
cool.
a big fan of white pickups, and I like the contrast with the color.
It pops with the block.
Mhm. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that, but yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So Ben Duncan says, "Oh man, that's so cool." Black Dog Sheep says the fade on that is bitchin'. Doc says, "Wow." Lefty says, "Cool fade on that top." Gary Redburn says, "Hey Mark, do you know Gary Redburn?"
I do not.
Okay, you do now.
All right.
Gary says, "Who doesn't love a purple guitar?" Rob says, "Block inlays, classy touch." Dan Andreas says, "Hey guys, thank you." I don't know what that's about. Sean, who is a professional painter, says, "Another killer." I'm going to shut up now and let you talk. It's really hard for me to do.
I think we kind of covered most of it. I split we have coil splitting going on both humbuckers, so I got lots of tone options. But look at that. And I don't know. I think we pretty much covered it. You already talked about the tremolo. We got the same Hipshot tremolo.
What do you think of that?
Actually, I really like it a lot. Haven't had a chance to use it much, but
I think it
sampled
looks
well.
It looks
awesome.
right. You know what I mean?
And all this stuff kind of fit like a glove.
Mhm.
So really looking forward to playing it.
Have you met Steve and UK Matt yet?
No.
Okay,
they're walked in the door right when
Yeah.
we started, so I haven't had a chance to
Well,
say hi yet.
once you and I are done here in a little bit, I want you to take this over there and show them, because I think they're going to like to see all of these. And yeah.
Sounds good.
Paul Hall says that I once made him an Uptown fade and he thought it was more of a downtown burst.
Could be. It's kind of the way you look at it.
That's a knee slapper.
How about-
Yeah, there you
How
go.
about now?
Yeah, how about now? Mike Beckloff says nice. Okay, so yeah. Well, what was one of your favorite things that we did, Mark?
Well, my favorite part was when you and Chris weren't yelling at us, Matt.
It's hard. It's so for that 3 seconds on Monday morning, right after lunch.
Yeah. But because that was stressful. But the rest of the thing, it was awesome. I really learned a lot. You guys are great. We got to have fun. The whole group. It was fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think doing the fretwork was really valuable to me
Mhm.
because I did not have much experience. I certainly never pressed frets before. And you saw my technique on the fret ends. It was pretty lousy when I started.
I think at first you were like, am I doing this right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you are, because you know what? It's hard to say. We're going to do a lot more stuff as we go down the road a little bit. and you don't know what that stuff is.
Yeah.
So you look at it and go, well, these
Yeah.
kind of look like they're all scratched up and all like rough. I don't want them to look like this.
They still look pretty.
We
good.
got a lot more stuff to do. So I had to ask you to trust me.
Trust the system
and,
trust the process.
Yeah. And you, they did not disappoint because your frets
No.
look like $1 million today. It looked like
Well,
little
thank you.
24 little mirrors and yeah.
Cool.
Well, so who should we say hey to back in South Dakota?
Well, I want to say hi to Gypsy, who is back home, and then I want to say hi to my kids who are not in South Dakota, but Andre and Carmen.
Well, thanks for letting us have Mark this week. It was great to have him here. So yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Now I also noticed that as a dental professional, you didn't bring us candy like Doc does. The only reason I say that is because we're out of candy, and if I say something, Doc might send us a bunch of candy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Doc's a bad influence.
He
That's a different
is.
story.
Yeah. He is.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, so is there anything else did we cover it all?
I think we covered it all. Yeah.
Well, thanks for being a good sport on the
All right.
reveal. I don't know. Did you know that this was going to be a thing that we did? Okay.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
been
All right.
watching your videos. Yeah.
Oh, you're the one.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay.
I'm one of the.
Good.
One of the two. Yeah.
One of the two guys. He did.
Kind of acts like he's been here before. Though.
Mark breezed right in. He fit right in immediately. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Well, Mark, that your
Thanks,
guitar
man.
looks like $100 million, and yeah, I
Thanks.
hope that you had a great time, and
did.
we'll consider coming back and letting us beat you up another week.
All right. Sounds
Okay,
good.
good.
Well, yeah. Anybody who's thinking about this is a great experience. So you should definitely do it.
Right on. Thank you, man. So let's see. Okay, there's a couple more to go, and Doc says that I'm for sure a bad influence. Steve Soba says all are sweet. Butch, I'm not 100% sure what Dan's chiming in with whether or not you have to pay duties on that stuff or not, but yeah. So Candle, how are you?
I'm excellent.
It's been about exactly a year since you've been out here.
Yeah, they're about
You came out for the
400.
Great American Guitar Building Contest
Yes,
last time, and now you came out to build a Paul Reed Smith with us. What do you think?
it is awesome.
Okay, so here's what normally happens. We have to show off how cool the guitars look, and then I have to go and then start telling you all the great things that people say
Yep.
about the cool guitars that
Cool,
you
cool. Do you wanna
made.
get it closer, or-
Yeah, let's get it closer. So this thing is absolutely stunning.
Try to get some of the movement.
Yeah, it's really cool. So Brian Duncan, Brian Duncan says the wood on that guitar gives him wood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great choice with the wood. I think this one is my fave. Another beautiful top. Wow. Someone says, "Hey, baby girl, looks freaking awesome."
Probably my spouse.
Probably, yeah.
Yep, that's her.
I didn't know if I was to read that, but I thought it would be okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's okay.
We rarely have anyone who, yeah. So, okay. So Candle, tell me what did you make?
Well, I came here thinking I was going to do something different, but once we put pore filler on the top, it came alive, and I was like, okay, I don't want to cover that up too much. So that's when we went a little more transparent.
Yeah.
Worked with Chris, and his vision was really good on what we did here,
Yeah,
I think.
As I recollect, you did say, I don't need a fancy top. And then like in the 11th hour, you're like, I need a fancy top. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it wound up being great. I'm really pleased with it. It turned out great. So
What do you call you can't call it Uptown
I think
Fade.
I call it smoke burst.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like a smoky grayish in the middle. I don't know if the camera picks it up as well, but it fades to black, but it's a little bit of a trans black too. So
I got to tell you, transparent blacks are not something that is easy to do. And Chris really worked on his technique to get this one down. And so like yours, the see-through black and see-through green are not easy. And Chris did a lot of work to make sure that we could do see-through green and black and blue, those classic PRS style colors.
for sure.
Is there a bunch more?
Fernando says, how much do you want for this guitar?
Oh, Fernando, like anyone's going to sell any of these.
Come to the class.
Fernando's awesome. I love that guy. He's hilarious. I'm sure these things are killer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got quilt maple with a cool smoky burst.
Smoky burst.
And did you go? Yeah, you went with block inlay, which
Yeah,
I think
block
looks
inlay.
excellent.
Hipshot tuners, Hipshot bridge.
How do you
I don't
feel?
have the trim installed yet, but it'll be there.
Okay, yeah, you just got to
Yeah,
plop the old arm in there. How do you feel about the way because you've got like a PRS,
Mhm.
you've got one of the
I
Miras,
had a
and you've
Mira.
got some other stuff.
Yeah, I didn't have a traditional custom, so this is the main core.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I went with Phil McKnight's Northern Lights pickups.
Tell
just
us
for
a little bit
something
about
different.
those, because I know Phil McKnight watches these every so often. So
Well, he makes them in small batches, and I was able to pick some up earlier this year. So
you told me that's my phone, not yours. You told me something about Phil. You said something about how he winds humbuckers, but he doesn't wind P90s anymore. Why did you say that?
I think he said on one of his videos that he doesn't need to wind them anymore because Dylan winds good P90s. I have one of Dylan's P90s, so I agree.
That's a very cool thing to say. And
Mhm.
you know, Phil and Dylan both good guys, and they have been a friend to the shop when they did not need to be. And yeah, so I always like to hear, you know, the stuff that those guys are up to.
Yep.
Dylan comes out. Phil has never been here. We're still trying to get him to come out. Dylan's been out a handful of times, and I know he'll be back for stuff in the future now that he's got a home base and that kind of thing. It always works out great. But what was your favorite thing that we did this week?
I always really get a lot of satisfaction out of making the frets just feel perfect like butter.
Yeah.
That's always fun. But we had a really good camaraderie this week, and just hanging out was cool too.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of fun.
You even did a shot on the shot ski
I
at Jam Jimmy's
I
house
did a shot
with everybody else. Yeah.
I did.
Even Dougie got in on the action. I don't know if you know, but yeah, Doug Santaniello did a shot one time.
Just the one.
Just the one.
just the
Yeah.
I was 12.
Good
So what
times.
more do we have to do? We've got to get some covers.
Yeah, the back plate is not on yet.
Okay.
And then the pickups are not at the right height yet. Just little things. It's
So
mostly there.
I kind of pushed everybody to do the reveal video, and Chris very wisely said, let's get them strung up so they look like guitars. And now I'm like, hey, what do you got to do? So yeah, it will probably go for another like half hour or so to just kind of get everything.
good.
Yeah.
I'm not driving back to Texas till tomorrow.
Okay,
so
good. Are
we're
we gonna have steak tonight or something?
Steak is always good.
Ka-ching. All right.
You know,
I
you
get
live
to
in
go.
Texas, you know.
I know. I get to go tonight too. So before you go, Butch wants to know, how do they get to pick the top when the body is pre-made? Do they get to glue on the top? So, Candle, you guys put a lot of trust in Steve and myself, and you say, hey, I want this kind of top, and we try to deliver the best we can. Everybody's top looked terrific.
Yeah.
Including the last one that you're going to see that's not up here anymore. But I think would you say it's fair to say, just trust that you'll get something really nice? Yeah.
I didn't specify as far as like some people wanted flame, you know, and they
Mhm.
responded to you in that way. I didn't really specify.
And sometimes like this is one of the rare quilt ones.
Mhm.
There's not a lot of quilt. Were there, Steve? They're mostly flame with some quilty stuff, and yeah, okay. But so you don't get to pick the top, but you get to tell me, I want a figured top, or I want a plain top, or I want a leopard print top, whatever. So yeah. So Candle, how who should we say hey to down in the great state of Texas?
Definitely got to say hey to HL, aka Wiley. Thank you for taking care of the animals this week.
Thanks for letting us have Candle this week. She's always cool to hang out with. And yeah.
All right.
What else? Did we cover it all?
I think we did.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got one more, and it looks like he's finally stopped fidgeting. He's ready to come up and start drinking with us finally. Oh my gosh. Hey, you guys won't believe what just happened. Doc just sent us a super chat and says, congrats to everyone. First round is on me, and sent $150 super chat.
Holy moly.
How about that? He knew it, including you, Brian. Yeah.
Because, you know, there's more than that.
Oh no, he's including everybody.
Brian made him do it.
Thank you so much, Doc. That's very kind of you, my friend. Doug, how the hell are you, sir?
It's been a tired week. I think I might have drank a little too much.
I think you've been burning the candle on both ends, amigo.
Yeah. I had some pretty tired mornings coming.
I heard that you got bit by the evil worm once.
Getting ready to finish it up, buckle it up. Had a couple little issues because of the rings. I ended up going with the chrome rings.
Show off
I
that
had the
cool
black
top,
rings, and they were a
baby.
little too tall. So
Okay.
I went.
What do you
with
got there?
First, I saw the guitar that you sold. I forget
Rod
who-
bought it. Yeah.
Rod bought it, and I really liked it. I didn't want to make it as bright as his though, like, and so that it looked like it was an exact copy. And that's why I asked him, Chris, to let's look into a little bit of a black burst just to you know, tone it down a little bit, not quite as bright.
Hold on, I have to. Brian, can you guys scooch over that way just a little bit? To come on. Well, then shut up. Then yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry, Doug. Go ahead.
No, it's. I'm just saying. I really love the fabric tops. I own only really one Texas Toast fabric top, which is the Speedo Burrito, and it has Mike Learn's striping on it as well.
But you've come out and you've built some fabric tops with us.
Yeah.
And then this one you did.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, that you guys built this. This kind of made it, you know, a different build than everybody else. They had a little more sanding initially than I had.
Yeah,
because you had to just, you know, do a basic sand and get the cloth on it first. But you know, once you get it done, you have to be really careful not to burn through. I did burn through in a very little spot, but Chris touched that up. In fact, I was being told I shouldn't have burst it. Some were saying, don't burst it, just leave it, you know, because it actually looked very good. It right to the edges, everything looked great.
I got to tell you, I love the fabric top because I've always loved fabric tops. It's kind of a thing that I did for a while there, and I still do. I love the reveal binding. I like the burst on there. I think you could have gone either way, and I think you know there's no wrong choice, right?
Yeah, the reveal binding allows you still to see the maple.
Yeah,
if you look
because this has a 3/4 inch maple top.
You can see how big the tops really are, how thick they really are.
Yeah,
they're carved out, but I mean that's how they start. That's a big thick piece of maple that goes into it.
So as you know, Doug, when you start showing the guitars off, people start commenting. Let me read some of the things that everyone's saying. Ben says, damn, I've never seen wood like that before. Mike Beckloff says, wow, super cool. Sean says, yeah, that turned out nice. Tom says, beautiful guitars all. Pop says, best looking fabric top ever. Brian says, I keep getting in trouble. I better go mow. Okay. All right. Sean says, Ben, that wood grows in undisclosed rainforest that no one knows about. Zed at Black Dog Sheep says, the burst is awesome. Lefty says the burst looks so fantastic with the cloth. Rob says, whew, that's pretty. Sean says the burst works. Brian says Doug's best guitar yet. Looks great. Thanks again. Okay. Yeah. So lots of people. Jimmy says, I missed it. Hold it up and then turn it around if you wouldn't mind. So this thing is killer.
Love the chrome rings. I would never thought.
Once we do have plates though. We're even putting a plate over the just like Paul Reed.
Yeah. It's routed for a trim spring.
Since my initials are DRS.
Yeah.
I built a DRS.
Dougie got a DRS.
So that's my actual initials. So of course I own two PRS, actually three. But I never play them.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that this one is the one I'm going to start working on.
I hope so. How do you think this compares to the PRS, the actual? It's not a dead ringer, but yeah.
Well, I have a 10 top that's a Tiger, which you know they, as Steve will know, that they very picky on their wood.
Yeah. This one goes to 11.
It's a beautiful guitar. But you know, you're talking, it's a list price guitar that most people are not going to buy.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Whereas this class didn't cost half of what that guitar costs. And, you know, we got the Airbnb, which actually worked out really great. I think we're paying less than $70 a day.
That's
and I'm even going to wash my clothes this time. They're going to go home clean.
Yeah, you have clean shorts.
Might make my wife less pissed this time.
Gosh, I hope that's not a thing. Yeah.
But no, it's hard. You know, you go away and she's there alone. So she's like, I don't understand why you got to keep going to these guitar classes. This is my 8th class here.
Yeah. Well, your name is literally on the door and your picture's on the wall.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I'm definitely a Texas Toast fan. I push for people to try this experience. I mean, even if you can only do it once in your life, it's something you'll never forget.
Yeah.
And you'll go home with a great instrument. And you'll always be able to play that instrument. So
do you remember the first time you came out here, you asked if we could make not this guitar, but this guitar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, because we have one day. And
yeah.
So
I asked Dylan.
We finally got to do it. Yeah.
When I knew Dylan and I asked him, he was going to build me a guitar.
Mhm.
This goes back, I guess it's already 7 years ago. And he said, when I showed him a picture of a PRS, he said, no, I can't do that. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
So he made me a Super Strat, which I
Also
still
cool,
own, of
but
course.
yeah.
Yeah. And then when I came out here, you got me to do the Les Paul. It was build a head.
That's right.
Build a body day,
Mhm. And it was a 1 day
it was
workshop.
a 1 day, but I stayed all 5 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was here for all 5 days. Everybody came in each day and built different, bodies.
Yeah.
And you got me to do the carved top, and that was when we didn't have Steve.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
it was
we had to
all
use
the
the-
old
the-
school
The
yeah.
router with the, it
Mhm.
was the what do you call it?
the Panto router or
Yeah.
copy carver.
Copy carver. Yeah.
that's
And then the rest you're carving, you're doing by hand,
Mhm.
And that guitar actually is still not complete. It's
All
sitting right now in my
right.
shop.
Yeah.
Where I'm going to finally start working on it. But I was thinking maybe I'll join the contest for next year, and that might be the guitar I use.
Outstanding.
So, but yeah, overall, great week. Going over to the upright lounge the other night. Got a little.
That's right.
I got a little carried away, but I don't have to drive because Dave's very conservative. So
you know
my
as well as
designated
anybody
driver.
that you sometimes lose track of time and space and distance. And
they even tolerated me singing 2 songs.
Oh, you sang way more than 2 songs.
No, but they tolerate.
Oh, they tolerated you for 2. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so no, we had a real good time this week, and you know what? I thought it was going to be easier because we started with what looked like something was more done.
But
And
it's not.
But it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
And it's like every day you're like, holy crap, man, are we going to make it? We're going to
Yeah.
make it. Yeah, we're going to make it. We're going to make it. And I was surprised, really, if the truck had showed up like it should have with the right stuff. I think we would have finished earlier.
Maybe.
But yeah, we little things you have to tweak at the end.
We had some ups and downs, and this was the inaugural one, so we learned a lot by doing this. Chris and I built 3 guitars before you guys got here, and we got some issues sorted out, and Steve helped us out, and I know UK Matt helped Steve out as well. That was behind the scenes I didn't necessarily know about that. I'm going to hear about it in a little bit, but yeah. So it just because you start with something that's mostly done, it ain't mostly done, right?
No, not when it comes to a guitar. I didn't plug Dylan either. Those were limited.
Oh yeah,
edition,
let's do that. Yeah,
limited edition humbuckers.
What's the big idea with
They're
those?
dual
then?
poles instead of just the single row of the poles. He only made a certain number of them, and so I contacted him and say, hey, save a set for me.
Mhm.
And when I drove the Johnny Switchblade up there, I picked these up when I was up
All I
there.
know is that if Doug says something, I take that to the bank. That's as
Yeah.
good as gold in my book. Yeah.
Yeah,
Doug
well,
says
if
he
I tell
wants
you
something.
I'll do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Unless I'm dead. Then
Yeah.
I can-
Unless you're dead.
But yeah, we burst a little bit on the neck.
Oh,
We
yeah,
did-
yeah.
We did a little special neck treatment. It
Mhm.
is so smooth.
Mhm.
It's these things come out. You think they're perfect when they come out. If you look at them in a picture,
Yeah.
you can feel the difference from the
Oh,
machines,
yeah. Oh,
but
yeah.
they're really looking good right
Mhm.
from the minute they come here raw.
Yeah.
And then you do the touches, and learning how to do this kind of sanding without burning things or going
Mhm.
deep is a trick in itself.
Well, it's an inspiration to me to watch you guys do this and to get stuff from Matt and Steve and then hand it off to you guys and you transform it into your own cool thing. And you guys can transform it into your own cool thing too. If you want to come out and do one of these, don't you think people should do it?
I think absolutely people should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Save up if you have to,
Mhm.
work on it, but it's a once in a lifetime thing, maybe.
Yep.
Some people are fortunate, like me, I'm able to come
Sometimes
out more
it's
than
an 8
once.
in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, it's because I don't spend it somewhere else.
Yeah.
This is what I would prefer to do than to take a trip and
Yeah.
spend a fortune looking at a waterfall or whatever, So now I got to balance that one. We have to balance that with our wives.
Yeah. Maybe there's some water falling in your future. Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, so who should we say hey to back in Florida, Doug?
well, I'd love to say hello to my wife. I know she won't watch it.
Maybe
But,
if she watches
maybe
it
if
later,
if I tell her I said hello, maybe she'll look at it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
She texted me yesterday. Said, "Remember, you do have a wife at home." It's like because we've been so going at it, and then we
It's
go
been-
out to
been
dinner,
busy,
and our
busy,
time
yeah.
is different here than there.
Oh, that's the
And
other thing.
I'll call her. She doesn't pick up the phone, and it's like I'm forgetting. Geez, it's already 11 at night at
Yeah,
home.
yeah,
That kind of thing.
yeah.
It's only 9 here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But you got some people out here too.
I've
And
got a nephew here. He lives right downtown Denver, Sammy. Yeah.
okay. And you were fortunate enough to get to hang out with Dave and Dan in the Airbnb, and then like you were saying, you hung out with everybody else.
I got to play golf
yeah.
with Brandon too.
Oh, that's right. You and Brandon went and played golf a handful of times. That's fun, man. I know he really enjoyed that. So,
All I can
Very
say is
good.
thanks a lot. I had a great week.
Well, I had a great week too.
It'll
man.
take me a month to recover, and I hope I can come back to the amp class.
I hope that you can too. Maybe after a liver appreciation week or a day.
a liver cleanse, and then I come back.
Speaking of liver cleanse, if somebody, Chris, if you come and sit and wrap this up with me, someone bring me one of those brain grenades, and I'm ready for one finally. Oh, God bless you. So anyway, so as you can see, all the guitars turned out terrific. Everybody put their own spin on the stuff that they got from Steve and Texas Toast. Steve at Maximum Guitar Works and Texas Toast. So if you guys want to come out and do this, our 2025 schedule is there's a PRS workshop on that. Thank you. And Chris, we haven't seen you all for the last hour. So how the heck are you, sir?
I'm good. We have a little bit more stuff to do. I'm trying to get everybody lined up. And
strap buttons and that kind of thing.
Yeah, a couple of little tweaks here and there, back plates, stuff like that.
Okay.
And
Well, so what was your favorite part of the class? Who do you want to say hey to in Littleton? Yeah,
I can tell you one thing. PRS guitars are way harder to put together than Telecasters.
Than Tellies, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I gotta say though, everybody really rose to the occasion. And what did you think?
Yeah.
I mean, everything kind of fell together,
everything's
right?
really great. Yeah. It's just a couple more steps here and there, and the next thing you know, you're like, oh yeah.
So the neat thing I think is that if you have zero woodworking experience, you can still do this. You can come and build a Telly with us. You can come build a Strat. You can do a PRS. You can do a Les Paul. Any of the classes that you have, you can do it.
Yep. Nobody's failed.
No,
So.
Brian says Brain Grenade is a good band name. So yeah, and I think it is.
I'm sure that there are.
I'm sure there's one. There's one in every city. Yeah.
In every city.
Well, so how do you think everyone did on?
I think everybody did a great job.
I do too.
This was a really, really fun week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a bunch of friends that I already knew, some new friends. It was a great week, and the guitars look great. Anytime you get to paint really fancy maple, is really neat. And watching that stuff come alive is really cool, because it doesn't just come alive once. You put, the first product that wets the wood, the pore filler on it. It's like, oh yeah, that looks great. And you put the next one on, and it looks even greater. Like, oh wow, yeah, now it's really coming along.
Yeah.
And then you paint it, and it looks even better. So maybe 3 times it reveals itself.
Yeah.
With process. So that was fun. And there wasn't a bad piece of wood in the bunch.
Nope, they were all good.
Yeah. So
now I have something that you might not know. Dawgs?
Yeah.
I love the fabric top PRS. Well, how long before Paul Reed Smith starts to do a fabric? You think he's going to call us up and go, hey?
First of all, you can't do that. Second of all, how do you do that?
Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, but in 2 days, we're doing this again.
Yes.
Yes.
I know. And I have several tweaks.
Well, that's okay. Yeah.
Hopefully get us a little further along earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We're, I want to say, 45 minutes behind.
Okay.
And at the end of 5 days isn't bad, but
well, yeah, especially on the first go round, right?
Yeah.
What do you anticipate will be different next time? Just smoother, a little smoother.
There'll be a couple of things that will just we had a little bit of we had a slowdown yesterday.
Yep.
And if we were a little further along yesterday, we'd be
further along today. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So yesterday was the hang up.
Yeah.
But everybody did a really good job today. Once again, it's really fun to walk people through. The cool thing this time was I would show them a little bit of wiring, and they would go and do it. And then I'd show them a little more, and they would go and do it. And then by the end,
it was done.
Everybody was done, and everybody's stuff worked first time, which was super cool.
And most people did push pull, splitty,
almost everybody did at least one split coil thing. Okay. Mark did 2, but everything worked, and everybody's soldering looked good, and you know, that's a big deal because chasing electronics can be a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm just like, you know, diving in, but didn't have to do any of that.
Cool.
And that worked well. And we're going to do a little bit more of that with some setup. And
Okay.
yeah, everything's going to be good.
Well, why don't we get to it then, so we can be done, because
Yeah.
you and I have like 48 hours before we have to start over again. Sorry
I
to
don't
tell
even think
you,
we have that.
we don't even have that. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not good at math.
Yeah. Well, let's just say we have 48 hours.
All
You're
right.
Nick Nolte and I'm Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you want to come and do this PRS one or any of the other workshops that we do, please log into the website. And if there's some stuff that you're like, hey, when are you doing? What do you got going for later in the year, or what you maybe offer that? Let me know, because, like, for example, in October we don't have anything that anyone has signed up for that's not the AMP workshop. So it's probably too late to do that. But you see what I mean? Like, if you were to call me and go, hey, okay, here's one, for example, the Super Strat workshop. Nobody signed up for the Super Strat workshop. It seems like we should do another PRS one in lieu of the Super Strat workshop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still think Super Strats are cool, but I'm not 100% sure that there's
Anybody
enough
wants one.
there's enough interest to do that one.
They're
However,
so cool, everybody already has their
everybody
fill.
already has
Yeah,
theirs. Yeah.
maybe.
I think as soon as people start to see how neat these PRS style guitars are, they're gonna want to do that one. This workshop will sell itself because the guitars are so excellent.
Yep.
So, all right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Butch Landry says, great job, very impressed. Lefty says, see you Sunday for the 2x4 plecking. That's right. And yeah, I don't know if I missed your comment. I apologize. Thank you guys for all the super chats. We will talk to you on Sunday, and have a great weekend, everybody.
There you go. See ya.
Nice job, guys.
All right.